All right, I'll talk about it. I had this video just sitting in my archive, or not archive, but I had it like saved, like this topic, because it kept coming across my feed over and over and over and over. As an artist, when you sell artwork, are you selling the ownership alongside with it? Typically, no, not unless it's specified in the contractual obligations and agreement that you make with said client. But it seemed like we have gotten to a very weird place as well too, because there have been arguments as well too for putting watermarks on artwork. Not even big watermarks either, just like little bitty signatures, little bitty, just a little name where if you look a little hard you can find the artist put their name on it, something that shows that they made it. And there's been talks, there's been discussions, and I can't believe that this artist even got a bad review for leaving said watermark on it. But I already know this is going to be a debated topic in the comments, but let's begin. So it all started when I first saw this, and then I went back and I tried to figure out the origin. So it pretty much started with this, and this artist said, hey, blocking me for simply stating the truth about how these fees actually work is very mature in quotations, especially when the whole discourse is primarily about how artists should include those fees in the base price for convenience. In the end, it doesn't matter, you still pay the same price. And so here's what it is. This, I guess, VTuber said defending an extra monetized fee on VTuber models and stream exclusive assets, overlay, etc. is insane. Y'all really think people are spending 2 to 3K to look at their model alone in their basement and never show anyone? And then they said, I honestly can't see the issue if the fee is separated as an add-on or incorporated in the base price. You will still pay the same money for it regardless. And so this person who made the response got blocked. And then another person replied back to that when they stated they got banned. And they said, for anyone who isn't aware, that person said this too, by the way. And so this was them showcasing some artwork that they, I guess, bought. And then it says, art by unprofessional artists who refuse to remove their watermark on a paid commission so you can squint instead of me crediting by name, which is more effective, I guess. And I'm gonna be real, bro. If you're trying to look for where the watermark is, I'll give you a second to look, but it's not like it's a blaring easy watermark to see. I'll give you 5 seconds to look. Found it yet? If not, it's right here. It's literally in this bottom left corner. That's where the watermark is. And it's not even, when I think of a watermark, I think of something where it's actually like blaring across the entire screen. It says, do not repost, repost prohibited, things like that. That is what I think of as a watermark, not someone just putting their signature so that you're able to tell who made said artwork. But it doesn't end here. There is another thing that this followed, which is the fact that they left a review for said artist, which is this one right here. They said, the drawing was sent with a watermark directly on top of the drawing itself, in the hair and tail in this case. I asked for it to be removed, with the standard as long as credit is provided. And a quick look at my social media shows I post every day and credit has been included in the direct post or reply every single time. I've had 171 commissions prior to this, and not a single one would not send a version without their watermark. It is also not shown with the watermark directly on top of the drawing in the original listings example either, so there is no indication that this is what you will receive. 3 stars as the process was fine until then. And so this was a very, this was a crazy thing. Realistically, I'm gonna be honest, the watermark that they're complaining about is not that big of a deal. I especially don't think that is something to be so nitpicky or really going all like, oh my god, what the fuck, man? Especially from what I saw on their prices. If I'm correct, this is what they bought, like a chibi sketch icon. $8, bro. $8, and you're bitching about a fucking watermark that you can't even barely see on the artwork itself. That is insane to me. It's so, the idea that artists don't retain any rights of something that they make, and this is kind of like the way that people think this is how real life works and this is how it should go, is absolutely absurd. That is not how things go at all. But going into some of the replies, here's how things even look sillier. It says, guess who ended up commissioning the same artist again and posting despite how unprofessional they were. And they continue on. One person says, honestly, I agree with the commissioner. Aggressive watermarks ruined the art. And they said, question mark, an artist is not allowed to add the smallest possible watermark to the art they made. And then they got a reply back saying, put a watermark, dude, just not in the middle of the face or the icon you sold to a person. It's not that hard. Nobody wants art with text over it. And so then they reply back saying, where is the aggressive watermark you're speaking of? They received an art with a tiny watermark at the left corner and complained about it. The Vision verified showcase will always be shown with huge watermark for others not steal. And if the artist did make a mistake and sent them a heavy watermark image, they still received one without the huge watermark. Why can't the artist who charges $3 add their tiny watermark? That's pretty much what they're saying. They are thinking, I guess this person is thinking that there is like some gigantic, huge, like, do not steal, do not repost. And that's not really the case. And then they reply back saying, did you already forget your own thread? This is the image the commissioner claims to have gotten from the artist, which is indeed an aggressive watermark. Take a seat. And it says, and did you not see the commissioners posted? As I said, artists will post verified showcases with watermarks on Vision. It is for artists who showcase on their portfolio or samples. The client can or may get multiple versions of that commission. The one they posted had literally no big watermark on the art. And then out of curiosity, let's continue on down this thread and see if they reply back. And no, they did not. They actually just literally went away. This is internet discourse in a nutshell. This is one of the biggest pet peeves of why sometimes I just hate making videos on just any art topic or art discussion in general, because you will have actual literal dumbasses like this who is going to say shit with the strongest confidence out of their goddamn mind. They will go to bat. They will go to war arguing like this, and they're talking with their whole chest out. And then they're blind. They're literally blind. They got sent this, but then they reply back showcasing this. So make it make sense. Where in the fucking planet did this VTuber get this artwork if they never received it? But then you're gonna post this and say, oh, well, actually they got this. How? You literally just got show proof right here that they had a regular one. What are we discussing? What are we arguing? That's when you go to the bullshit and you see so many people give likes. Just dumbass fucking message. It's my biggest pet peeve. There are so many fucking dumbasses, so many goddamn morons out here who will just say things with their whole ass chest with straight confidence. And then when they get called out on said bullshit, then they either delete the message or they say, oh, well, actually, you kind of twisted my words right there. I didn't actually say that. And then they go to proceed to edit their comment, or then they go to delete it and then repost it. Like, come on, bro, be so for real right now. What are we doing? Like, it's so fucking insane. But continuing on, another person said watermark's okay, but the client should always get a version without a watermark too. Siding here totally on the client on that part, because the person's commissions an art without the writing and they did not get it, so a 3 to 4 star is justified. And they said they did receive one without the big watermark, only including the artist's signature, and complained the artist didn't get removed it. Then more response said there's still a watermark in the picture, and this person replied back saying they sent the TOS. To be fair, the client agreed to that, so it's on them, and if that's what they didn't want. And they said signature is okay too, but if I seen it drawn to the character I requested, I would deduct points too. And yeah, there's a whole lot of discussions towards this. Bro, I don't think it's that serious. I really don't. I think that the way people were trying to make this sound is like there was like a gigantic do not repost, cannot repost, only for personal use blasted upon this entire thing, but that's not the case, not even remotely. It's in this fucking little ass corner that you're not even really going to notice at all. It's not even like they put in some like red text either so that it detracts from the rest of the artwork. It blends in with the rest of it. Like, come on, dog, be for real, be so for real. There are terms and conditions when you buy things. Like, it's so blatantly obvious. You need to do some reading. You need to do some understanding. Before I get some clown in my comment section, because I know y'all exist out there, you're gonna be like, actually, what is the TOS? Can I see it? And brother, it's right here. So this is the service that they're offering. It says TOS in detail right here. Boom, you click on it. Wow, it's right here. You got it literally right here at the fucking top. Do not modify the image. No, remove my signature from the image. There. That's literally it. That's all you need to see. Signature. Boom. Wow. Don't know on what planet we expect artists to not have their signature on artwork. Also, I think people are getting watermark and signature mixed up. Watermark is something you usually put on something to prevent it from being resold, reposted, or anything of that caliber. Signature is something that artist puts in their artwork after they finish because they're proud of it and they want you to know who made it. But usually it's not going to be something that is extremely huge and it takes up the focus of the entire artwork. It's usually put in an obscure place where it's not really seen that easily, and you usually have to look for it. And that's also a reason to try and prevent people, so if someone does take it and they try to repost and say it is their own, artists usually will know where they put their own signature and they can call it out if it ever gets stolen. Be like, look, my signature's right here and I'm going to call Yale on it. That's typically a situation like that. It's happened before. But yeah, I just want to talk about this. Thought this was very interesting. I can't believe this is really the debates we're having now in 2026. it's silly, but yeah, I'll leave it here. Let me know what you think in the comments.